Right, rolling on to extras. So just show the pose first. You can see he's now set up as if he's mid-fight with Sandman, where the base comes in handy, and obviously that is the biggest extra it comes with. Really well done. I'll try and get in close just to show it does have a sandy effect to it. You can see nice texture on it and everything. A little bit cheap feeling, but at the end of the day it is a diorama sort of thing. If I could turn it around, in fact I'm not going to turn it around because then Spiderman might fall. So yeah, you attach the fist to the arm and then the arm onto the shoulder, and then as you can see the pole fits in sort of around there. So yeah, that's the biggest thing, and that's the reason the box is so big. Like I said, really nice, and I will display it because it's eye-catching, but it's not, it don't feel like something that's cost a fucking fortune to make, but you can't complain when you're getting stuff chucked in. Obviously that comes with the translucent pole, so like if you just glance it don't look like it's attached to anything, it looks like sort of a statue. The extra that grabbed your money were obviously the Peter Parker head sculpt, which is awesome, like I've said before, and as you know I've put it onto a Peter Parker custom. Then it came with the array of hands. Obviously he's got the wide open hands on. He's got the fist, the web grabbing hands, so if you were swinging he'd have those, and those you sort of put the webbing in top, and then if you put the smaller bits of web in that hole there at the bottom, and it looks like he's got the web hanging out bottom of his hand sort of thing. Got the relaxed hands, then he's got the web casting hands. So like I say, it's not a far off match either from the suit, which I do like, because sometimes it is hard to get two different materials to look same, but it's not too bad. 2 spare wrist pegs, always handy. 2 spare rings for the that attach the web. And obviously you've got the little bits of webbing what I was talking about, which would be the bottom part of his hand if you were swinging. Then the 2 really long ones, so you could have him set up in your display so it did look like you were either swinging from 1 web or 2 or whatever. The web that I would call the web punch sort of thing, they've got like a clogged up bit on the end, so if you were like aiming at a person to try and knock them out sort of thing, you'd use those webs. A little bit shorter obviously. And then the grabbing web sort of thing, so if you're attached to a ceiling or you wanted to spray into somebody's face or something, you would probably use that one. So yep, then you get the a standard stand, which obviously comes in handy because that means I can pose one on the Sandman base and I can pose one on the proper stand. I didn't have to buy a spare stand for the Peter Parker. So yeah, really good set. You can't complain, like I've said before, to get that head sculpt. You never got it with the first one. So like I said, that's what grabbed your money. Sorry if you can hear ice cream van in back at fucking in background, but I'm filming in afternoon, so it's kind of like that around here. So yeah, extras, I'm giving a 5 out of 5. Plenty for you to want from this figure, like I say, be it the Sandman base or the head sculpt or the figure itself. A really good set. Probably puts the first set to shame, obviously, because you never got the spare head sculpt and you only really got the corner of the building diorama, which you never really attached to properly anyway, which were a bit of a pisser, but can't complain on this one. So I've given the extras, like I said, 5 out of 5. Right, rolling on to value. Fucking nosedive time. I'll just go through the setup at the moment and then I'll tell you why. You can see I've got Spider-Man, again pose sort of fighting the Sandman. That's how I'm going to leave these at the moment. Coming around to the Peter Parker, which like I say, there will be a review on this guy soon. I'll explain the bits I put together on it. And obviously the classic Spider-Man in the background. Right, so I'll say, value. This figure, as you know, I've got a lot of connections in Hong Kong and China, and people willing to knock me money off for PayPal deals and for shout outs and things like that. This figure, nobody were having none of it. It were a fucking nightmare. The early release price was about 220 quid, and I thought, I'm not paying that again because that's what I paid for the Joker. So I waited, I pestered and fucking asked around, and the best deal I could get, by a million miles as well to be honest, were from a guy called Giobi11. You know I've used him before. Really good guy. up to this point. And he said he would do it for 147 through PayPal, and he would send it as soon as he got it. Now, he was waiting about 2-3 weeks to get it in stock, so I thought, well, that's going to be the best. Other than that, it's going to be like another 70 quid sort of thing. I thought, fuck that. So I paid him, I waited, and that was it. Anyway, he sent it, it got stuck in customs. Now, I've had things stuck in customs before and released without charges. I've had things stuck in customs released with charges. Normally, you sort of take what you get kind of thing. But on this one, it was pissing me off because it was taking time and time and time. It was doing me nutting. I contacted Border Control, I contacted Customs. They were saying basically they were checking everything from China because of counterfeits, which, fair enough, that's the case, so be it. They could see it weren't counterfeit. They never opened it at end of the day because it was still all packaged up right. I got a charge anyway, £32. So that took the price up to like 180 quid anyway, which were, again, more than I wanted to pay. But I wanted the figure, so I paid, went and collected it. Now, the reason that they charged this, it weren't all to do with English customs, but the fact that I think he'd wrote 37 on his billing slip. Now, with that 37 Hong Kong dollars, 37 US dollars, 37 quid, what? Customs didn't have a fucking clue, so they opened it up, or they checked it, they looked into it, and they charged me the full VAT and then £13.50 handling fee for Parcel Force, which fucking pisses me off because Parcel Force don't have to do nothing extra with a figure that comes through customs that they wouldn't have to do if the figure had not got stuck in customs. So I was fucking wounded. Anyway, so I spoke to him. I told him it were his fault. He'd marked it up wrong. He said he was going to mark it as a low value gift. He'd not specified what currency were or anything. I told him basically I'd not had a problem with him before. Anyway, he come back pretty defensive like they always do. Nobody wants to pay out no more money, and he basically told me he'd not made enough profit on this figure to reimburse me any money. So I says, well, fair enough. I shouted you out loads of times on a positive thing because you've looked after me, but for honesty, my honesty and the people watching this review, I said that I would have to state what had happened in this situation. So that's what I'm doing. Use Gilby 11 if you want, but like I said, on this occasion he fucked up. It was his fault. He didn't reimburse me any money, so I've done with him. I might have done with importing figures altogether. I might stick to UK sellers because they're the guys who are sort of looking after me more so now. Lee and Wyman have done it past, so I might stick with them guys. I'm not in a rush to get these figures anymore because I don't think the early viewing figures sort of warrant it anymore. I think people pretty much stick to the guys they watch. So, and also, if I'm honest, putting the custom together for that one and a new one that I'm working on, which I will give a clue after credits on this one, I'm having more fun sort of putting these little figures together than actually buying the figures outright. And obviously it's cheaper, so I might fuck Hot Toys off altogether and just use the bits. Obviously, I want the Avengers, so I don't know. I'm just a little bit fucking disinterested at the minute. That show, I'm not watching a lot of videos on YouTube. I'm not commenting a lot like I used to. Just having a bit of a downtime with him, really. And that's down to the prices. And there's nothing really that's really making me buzz that's coming out. So like I say, I will review this guy. The value, going back to the scoring out value, I got sidetracked. I'm only going to give it a 2. Now, like I said, I do love the figure, I do love the spare head sculpt, I do like the Sandman base, and I do like that setup as a whole. I think it looks pretty cool. So yeah, I'm glad I've got the figure. Did I want to pay 180 for it? Did I fuckers like want to pay 180 for it? But that's what I paid. So fuck that in future. I'll not be shelling out them sort of prices. The value, I've given a 2 out of 5, which takes the overall score to 30 out of a possible 35, which again is a good score. And like I said, I'm happy with the outcome. I'm just not happy how I got there. What was I saying? Oh yeah, I will go through, review this guy, show you. You've pretty much seen it now anyway, but you'll want to know where's the camera from, where the bag's from, trainers, hoodie, body, blah blah blah. I will do that, but that'll be coming soon. I wanted to do the Spiderman first because I got a feeling that if I did the Peter Parker first, then nobody will watch the Spiderman review. So I didn't want that to happen. So yeah. It's another review done. It might be a 2-parter. I'm not sure how long I've filmed for, but anyway, this is a Clipper King, and I'm out of here.